What happens when a Hollywood legend stops filtering himself completely? At nearly 80 years old, Brian Cox just said what many wouldn't dare, and now the entire industry is reacting. Here's the thing. Most actors in Hollywood spend decades carefully protecting their image, PR teams, media training, carefully worded interviews, because one wrong statement can end careers. But Brian Cox? He's doing the exact opposite. No filter, no hesitation, no apologies, and this time, his words are aimed at some of the biggest names in the world. In a brutally honest interview, the Succession star didn't hold back. He went after A-list actors, critiqued legendary directors, and questioned some of Hollywood's most respected performances. And the names he mentioned? Johnny Depp, Quentin Tarantino, Ian McKellen, Edward Norton, Margot Robbie. This wasn't subtle criticism. This was direct, personal, unfiltered. Let's start with Johnny Depp, a global icon, a fan favorite, a cultural phenomenon. Brian Cox's take? He called Depp overblown, overrated. Think about how bold that is. We're talking about the man behind Captain Jack Sparrow, one of the most iconic characters in modern cinema. Cox even revealed that he was once considered for a role in Pirates of the Caribbean, a role he turned down. And looking back, he says he's relieved he didn't take it. That alone tells you everything about how he views that entire franchise and Depp's performance within it. Then came Ian McKellen, a legend in his own right. Cox didn't launch a full attack, but his words were still cutting. He simply said McKellen's acting is not to my taste. It's subtle, but in the acting world that says a lot, because it's not about respect. It's about artistic disagreement. Next, Edward Norton, and this one felt more personal. Having worked with Norton on 25th Hour, Cox didn't sugarcoat his experience. He described him as a pain, no ambiguity, no softening. This wasn't critique from a distance. This was firsthand. Then things got even more controversial. Cox turned his attention to Margot Robbie, one of Hollywood's biggest stars right now. Discussing her role in Wuthering Heights, he questioned her casting. Not her talent, but her appearance. He suggested she was too beautiful for the role. Now, that statement hits differently today, because conversations around casting, beauty standards, and representation have evolved. Even Cox himself admitted he might be wrong, but the film could still be brilliant. But the comment? It sparked debate instantly. And then, Quentin Tarantino, one of the most celebrated filmmakers of all time. Cox didn't hold back here either. He described Tarantino's work using a term that essentially suggests it prioritizes style over substance. That's a bold claim, especially considering Tarantino's influence on modern cinema. He also took aim at Kevin Spacey, calling him a stupid man, short, direct, and impossible to ignore. So the big question is, why now? Why would a respected, award-winning actor risk controversy like this? Cox actually answered that himself. He says he doesn't care anymore. At nearly 80 years old, he's reached a point where public opinion doesn't control him. Even his wife has tried to get him to be more careful, to hold back. But his response? Simple. I don't want to be careful anymore. That mindset changes everything. Because when someone has nothing to protect, they start telling the truth as they see it. But this isn't just about insults. There's something deeper happening here. Brian Cox represents a different generation of actors, a generation that values craft over image, performance over popularity, and authenticity over branding. In contrast, modern Hollywood often blends talent with marketability. And that clash? You can hear it in everything he says. This also connects to his ongoing criticism of method acting. He previously called his Succession co-star Jeremy Strong's approach annoying. Now he's doubling down, even turning down an opportunity to discuss acting techniques with Daniel Day-Lewis. Why? Because he believes acting should be instinctive, natural. In his words, children don't ask for motivation. They just act. That philosophy challenges a lot of modern acting methods. And again, it shows how differently he views the craft. There's something both refreshing and uncomfortable about all of this. On one hand, it's rare to hear someone speak this openly in Hollywood. No filters, no PR polish. On the other hand, these are real people, real careers. And words like these, they carry weight. So where do you draw the line between honesty and disrespect? That's the debate this moment creates. This situation reflects a bigger shift in entertainment culture. Audiences today are more aware, more vocal, more critical. And when a veteran actor challenges the industry so directly, people listen, not just because of what he said, but because of who said it. Brian Cox isn't trying to go viral. He's not chasing headlines. He's simply speaking his mind at a stage in life where he feels free to do so. And whether you agree with him or not, his words have sparked a conversation Hollywood can't ignore. Because sometimes The most controversial voices are the ones with nothing left to lose.